Well, welcome to the first podcast, the first Elevate Jiu Jitsu Academy podcast. Live from 1027 South 7th Street in Grand Junction. Beautiful downtown Grand Junction.
Where it is not cold.
Where it is where it is blistering hot in here without ceiling fans or anything moving other than the fly that's bugging Justin. Well, we wanted to get together and chat with everyone. We've had quite a few questions over the last, what has it been, 6 months or something? It feels like forever.
Yeah.
Sure is taking forever, but it's in due time here.
Right.
Things should be jamming here, hopefully this next week. So fingers crossed. But we just wanted to get together and just kind of start addressing some of these questions. All three of us have been being asked certain questions in the community, friends online, different people who have experience with jiu-jitsu, people who don't, family and friends, just the whole thing. So we figured we'd throw a list of questions together and just have a conversation. So
Sweet.
yeah, ready? Good?
Yeah.
Poor fly is just not having it. So, well, let's start with kind of the first question, which was what inspired you to open Elevate Jiu-Jitsu Academy and why?
You're looking at me,
Yeah,
so I guess
well, I guess
I'll go first. Man, that question has been asked by so many people. And I honestly can't tell you like a win. I think this whole idea just really came together organically. You experienced it, so I realize I'm talking to people that aren't here right now, but just thoughts and ideas. And, when you're in a really cool environment and you don't necessarily have any issues or anything, but you realize that you start coming up with some of these other ideas and opportunities that maybe you were trying to do at work and you wanted another outlet. That's not the end of you.
Right.
And that job shouldn't be defining you. Speaking in the mirror right now. Trying to make something exciting and like, what are you going to do? And how are you going to make it impact?
Yeah.
So, sorry, I talked for a long time.
That's all right. We're used to it.
Insightful, man. I think it's a good reason why to start a jiu-jitsu gym is to build relationships, to build community. For me, I was blessed to join you guys on this journey after meeting with, training with you guys and seeing that we all kind of value that same relationships in jiu-jitsu, building each other up and just why not join two guys that are absolutely see that same vision in jiu-jitsu. So
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, for sure. It's cosmic. I think that's one of the things that when we were talking about this for a while, for me it was, and again, getting closer to retirement, looking towards, looking at all the things that I love. There's a lot of things that I love, things I like to do, a lot of people I love, shout out to them, you know who you are. But just looking at, what are you going to do with your time? Where are you going to invest your energy? What's going to be your space? And I realized at 49 now that I didn't really have my own thing, and being able to travel, for work. I've been to a lot of different jiu-jitsu gyms, around the country, but in a little bit around the world, in different areas, and just seeing those different cultures and vibes. I mean, lots of them, and wondering, wow, what would that be like for you to bring that to your community, your vision. And I think, when people ask you, why, you look at, you're really you're really a player in somebody else's game, which in the level of play you are is kind of irrelevant. You're still playing somebody else's game, and I loved it for a long time. I really did. And I miss it terribly. I really do. I miss a lot of those things, but the risk of building something, especially with you guys, to bring that feeling to other people, especially people who have never experienced jujitsu. That I'm like, how do we recreate that? You know, how do we recreate those magical moments? And I think just being in control of shaping that experience for someone coming in, you know, beginner or experienced, you know, being able to kind of see both sides of that, especially when you walk into a new gym. Doesn't matter what color you have around your waist on your belt, but you know that feeling that you get. You walk in, you're new to, you could be a black belt, but you're new to that school. And there's just been so many schools that I've been into, including our old one, you know, that at times that were just, man, how do we recreate this, you know?
And from your perspective, and it is cool, you know, like you talk about all the gyms you've been to, and I've been to not as many as you guys have, but, you know, I've been to my share, and it's, you know, even like down in Costa Rica, we're surfing down there and then cruise into the jiu-jitsu gym in Santa Teresa, and those dudes were like, just that vibe, that whole, I was like, man, can I just retire right now?
Right.
But I need some mountains, you know?
Seriously.
But that whole, and then being one of the group, I mean, everybody, like that gym's a little different because it's so many people are cruising through.
Yeah.
But like a gym here, like Grand Valley or Gracie, you know, to be able to create this environment and then attract people with like minds. And then it's not so much I think for us, maybe it's the people that really create that whole environment.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, hey, this is what we're about. And then that should be attracting people. And then together we get an opportunity to truly make something really special for us.
Yeah.
And hopefully those that are there, you know, and I think having a different perspective, I think is healthy.
Yeah. 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 I think we'll address some of that here and some of these other questions too, as far as, you know, the community growing, the jiu-jitsu community growing here in Mesa County is
big now.
Yeah. I mean, let's just get into it. I mean, I think that was one of the things as you look at, you only have so many options, you know, and you pick the best option for yourself at the time. And then if you want anything different, well, go start your own academy.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. That's when it's now you're in control of building that. You know, you're no longer the player in somebody else's game. You're building the game for other players, and being in control of that is awesome and terrifying.
Right.
You know, like,
and
you
really do get to bring, and I think that's like, it's not just specific to jiu-jitsu, but anything you go through in life, whether doesn't matter what your job was, you know, hopefully you had a mentor somewhere, and you get to carry what they or the people in that environment like put into you and shared with you.
Yeah.
And now you have your own perspective on it, and you get to like keep paying that forward, but with hopefully a lot of momentum behind it. I think that's pretty exciting too. You know, you get all those people made these little changes in you, or like growths, you know, not necessarily a change. He's leaving you alone now.
I know, I got him. Don't worry. I took him on, right? Took him on.
But yeah, man. And then just blending it together. And, you know, I think for us reaching out, what's been really, or stepping out, I should say, the amount of people, man, that haven't even done jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And are now super interested in doing it. Or maybe they have been, you know, I think we have this opportunity to create this environment that makes them comfortable and brings them in, and they get to start sharing their story. And then, man, you know, you go through the lesson of the day, have a few rounds, whatever, but then it's all that time on the mat, or in the parking lot, or hopefully in the sauna, or in the couch, or that is the moment, man, that you memberships, blah, like all this stuff is what keeps the door open, right? But like the entrance fee to get to that moment is the class.
Right.
And then the real, like, you want to subscribe to that next level, like you got to have some roles with some people, kids, adults, men, women, the big tatted guy in the back that you're terrified of, and then watch him get smoked by the dude that's really skinny. And
the person you're thinking that when you see their car in the driveway, you're like, oh, it's going to be a rough day.
Yeah. And then when you, after those rounds, and maybe it takes a few days, a few times, maybe even a month or whatever, but then you realize, man, this, like, I'm connecting with this person like on a different level.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with jiu-jitsu other than jiu-jitsu was the vehicle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I like that ride.
Yeah.
I think we do a lot of searching and individual development and things in our prior careers or current career. And one of the things I've read and I truly believe is from some people way smarter than us. I mean, except for
maybe Justin.
Yeah. But the number one global phobia, like true phobia, we're not talking fear, we're talking phobia, is human aggression.
Yeah.
So, why jiu-jitsu? Why not like knitting or checkers? I mean, why not climbing? Why not skiing? Why not all these other cool things we've done or still do? But it's because of that realm we can learn to kind of normalize that human aggression aspect, although we know they're not actually trying to kill us, although sometimes I don't know, man.
I'm looking at you.
I'm looking at you.
Last week, I'm looking at Justin right now. That was a rough one.
But, we normalization of deviance. And then that moment of being able to harness whatever that is, it's been clearly studied for years by psychologists, neuroscientists, things like that, or people like that. So when we can develop this environment where people are like, maybe didn't want anything to do with that, right? And now they're like at the door, they're scratching, they're getting in there and they do it. It's paying that price in that moment that has been defined as the number one global phobia. Man, the prize to that, when you get through that, the relationship growth is exponential.
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist, but the relationship growth from that is definitely way different than other things in the past. I mean, you go through stuff with people in the military or whatever, it's that moment you get closer.
Yeah.
And it's this magic thing happens,
Yeah.
I know what I think it is, but so
yeah. One of the things that we talk about a lot here, I think just in our conversations, Justin, is we talk about culture. What type of culture are you initially? Because I think you have a vision for culture. I think the people that walk in the door actually define the culture, but I think there's some intention to developing or at least putting boundaries around the type of culture you want people to walk into. What's your thought?
Well, one, culture set from the top down, right? It comes from the leader, and if that leader, being us guys, are exhibiting that culture of, hey, we're welcoming, we're here to make you better, along the way, you're going to develop these things. And like I said, it's more of that welcoming culture. Everybody, jiu-jitsu is for everybody. Everybody can do it, right? We want to give people those tools, those tools to make them have their own style, have their own game, and take from jiu-jitsu what they need from it, right? Like for myself, I needed jiu-jitsu in more ways than just, hey, I need to learn how to fight. It gave me the discipline to kind of quit some of the things that were holding me back in life. So yeah, I think with trying to establish that type of culture of just welcoming people, showing people that they can do, jiu-jitsu, which is not everybody's like, oh, wait a minute, you're fighting, you're doing this. It's not a comfortable position, but I think being in those uncomfortable positions helps us grow, helps us learn about ourselves, and helps manage those, outside problems that we face in life, and, so kind of welcoming people to experience that, having a place to not only physically train, but mentally download onto some, your training partners, and they have, you guys look out for my interest. Hey, you doing okay? You checking in with people, like it's not just, hey, we're here to beat you up. We're here to build you up. Right.
Absolutely.
Like, as Master Wall, you would say, like it's just that, man, for me, that was jiu-jitsu. It wasn't about how many people you could beat up, how many, world championships you have, but how could you impact people and make them better? I tell a lot of people that, man, I shine when you're shining. If you're out there shining and it's because of some help that I've given you, or some, even a listening ear that I've given you, and now you're feeling better, man, brother, I'm up. I'm shining.
That's what it's all about. I like that download.
Yeah.
That's
I do
pretty
too.
cool.
Yeah. And I think you just being a student of yours, seeing that there's a lot of times where I've actually seen you take yourself back, and it happens a lot, but a lot of schools I've been to, they want to get their roles into the instructor, they got to get their training into. And I've seen, there's been a lot of times where, I've actually experienced you taking the time to come over, or I've seen you work with other people where a lot of times the conversation may start off as you correcting a technique, and then it's turned into, I'm having this rough day at work, and now you're becoming, you're kind of a counselor, or like you said, even just an ear for someone to download onto you. I think that those are the things that drew me to you.
Yes.
As man, I really, after, us talking, and I think we'll get into that now, is, what brought you to Elevate? Why is it named Elevate? And Justin had a pretty fun answer to the first time. It was like, you're a little bit late to the game here, right?
Yeah,
but,
no, I mean, definitely you guys brought me in with, that vision you guys were planning. And I think just being with you guys, man, there was no way I could not hop on board, man. This ship is, it's going to the moon, man, and it's been a great ride. 6 months that have just ups and downs. You put 3 optimistic guys in this gym for the first time, and here we are. Maybe 2 optimistic,
right.
and so those little setbacks hurt, especially because we were so optimistic. We're like, let's get this going, and here we are, several months later. But man, there's, I tell you, I wouldn't want to do it with any other guys, man. Just stand up people like yourselves, man. That's just, like I said, the culture we bring, man. That's kind of what the 3 of us, we have that same vision of, like, hey, we're helping people building each other up, building the community up.
Yeah.
And just having a good time through jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Yeah. The Elevate name for me, we went through a couple. We had trying to be cool and come up with something super catchy. And I don't know, now that we settled on an Elevate, we got the t-shirt, right? There's been times where I've seen other people, it really does seem like jiu-jitsu is blowing up. I don't know if it's my algorithms or whatever, but every time I'm scrolling, there's a new school, and we're all sharing it with each other because they're, look what they're doing with their mats, or they've got a sauna, we've got a sauna,
Why is their build out going so fast?
Yeah, why is their build out going so fast? For loves to our contractor and our architects and engineers that have been putting in the hard work here.
Right.
But all of that stuff. They're having their grand openings that we were hoping to have 2 months ago. But hey, It is what it is. But Elevate. Why Elevate? Why do we settle on Elevate?
Man, I think so many conversations with you, dude. Like,
oh my gosh,
god,
and then signs, right? Like everywhere. Granted, it's a pretty legit word, so it gets used a lot. But
it does, but still, you got to just be open, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think elevate, and when we're thinking about what is our why jiu-jitsu, what is the real mission? I mean, it'd be really cool to see some of our people start competing a bunch and getting a lot of medals, and there's a lot of good that comes from that. But then when you step back and you start seeing, for us, the bigger picture is like, it's about elevating people and utilizing jiu-jitsu to enhance life. And because we live in a rad place.
Yeah.
I mean, we can be on the river, we can ski, we can climb, we can ride mountain bikes, we can run, we can do jiu-jitsu, we can hunt. We have so much opportunity within an hour
Everything's
from here, So
except for the ocean.
Yeah, you can't have everything. And
I know.
I don't want to live in.
I know.
Sorry.
I know.
But there's planes, man.
Yeah, there are.
But yeah, so there's all this stuff, and then we're looking around. We live in a valley. You work hard to get to the top of something, whether I don't want to really call like the top of the monument the summit, but like the top, right?
Yeah.
So you're just elevating, and within it really is just about elevating people and elevating each other. And if we get this group of people together, like-minded, like, God, it seems so cliche to say that. It's almost annoying right now. Yeah. I'm almost annoying myself right now.
Yeah.
But you just don't know what you could, like, what is next.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know we have some really cool stuff already lined out besides, and jiu-jitsu is just that. It's that train, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so elevating people, elevating each other, and I think enhancing life.
Yeah.
And we made our own periodic table.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Are we
it's our own? It's our own little. No, this was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Dumb.
We didn't use the robots for this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if they would have came up with that for us. So.
Right.
But yeah, no, for me with the elevate goes along the same line. How are you? You're already uplifted. You're already getting. Your forward more momentum, upward trajectory. That's. I think I'm not there all the time. I know we all. We've all experienced that with each other over the last 6 months. With when one of us is down, someone's always got to be up. Especially with the hiccups that come with starting your own business and going through these processes. But I always feel like I'm gonna walk into a space where someone is going to put me in a better spot. Someone's going to make me better that day. It's going to elevate my game, whether it's personally, spiritually, right, mentally, all of that stuff. I think we talk about spiritually. There's a lot of things that happen in here at times, spiritually. That take on the life of its own. Whether it whatever you believe in, whether it's God, universe, Mother Earth, or you don't believe, you're non-believer, you believe in the human being next to you, I just think that there's a piece of that has that upward momentum, and that's where elevate with me comes with.
Dude, I totally agree. And I think, before like we even landed on this building, so many things were happening just in our lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in my path, like, you bring up spiritual stuff and faith, and I think that's like, I'm always not sure how to bring stuff up because a lot of people get sort of put back by it, and by no means is this the intent. But if this podcast or this question is truly about why, like, man, I think straight up, God is what's making this happen, and what has got me around you and you and the guy behind the computer back there. And yes.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
It ain't me,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we've had a lot of those moments, and they continue to present themselves. You know, it's powerful. You know, it's powerful. Well, I think that covers the elevate question pretty good. So, I think that's a big one. Without really going into a deep dive of that,
like
I think we'll have another podcast
Yeah.
on that. That way, I have a lot to share on that too, you know, and a lot of emotions to share on that. I think it's important. And honestly, I hope that's what brings people through the doors.
Yeah, man.
Is that they're, whether they're searching or they regardless of where they're at in life and wherever they're at spiritually in life, that they find what they're looking for when they come through the door,
Right.
you know? Yeah. Let's talk about coaching for a minute. As we've all been coaches in some aspects or another. We're obviously specifically talking about jiu-jitsu, which I don't have a ton of experience in coaching. A little bit. I mean,
kidding me?
Well, all right. We'll get into
I
that.
should be asking the questions.
I know you should be answering the question, but we're not going to. That's not what's happening. I have this mic. You have that mic. So, but Justin, you know, being you're the second highest ranked black belt in Grand Junction in Mesa County on the Western Slope. You've coached us, you know, you've coached in several academies, not only here, but also in Texas. You know, what my biggest question to you is like, what lights you up about coaching?
Man, just going back to that, helping people achieve something, you know, like, man, it, to me, he said, you know, if I can help you achieve your goal, man, that's awesome for myself, because now you're recognizing me as somebody that's in there, in your corner, that's going to help you have your back and make you better. And, you know, it's just, like I said, it's almost giving back, right? I mean, good Lord, man, I can tell you I was probably a mess before jiu-jitsu, and sometimes probably still am. But, man, what jiu-jitsu's given me and that avenue, that outlet, I can't do anything but give back to it, you know, and helping people, you know, hey, man, one more day in the gym is one less day at the bar for you, right? You know, you go to a class instead of going out to the bar to get you know, to do stupid stuff. You know, now it's giving me back that opportunity. And, man, if I could be there for people just so they don't, you know, I'd hate to be that, you know, that call somebody needs and you don't answer the phone, right? Like, that's not for me, man. I want to be at the gym for you. I'm going to be here for you.
Yeah.
You know, so that way that person has somebody to always come to, help them get better, do some jiu-jitsu along the way.
Right.
And then, like I said, just give back to jiu-jitsu, man. That's pretty much
Dude,
it.
he's so chill.
Uber chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will tell you, one of my favorite things about your coaching style is, I think a lot of it has to do is that you know you didn't grow up, your jiu-jitsu didn't grow up here, you know, and every time I'm in a class with you, and I've been with some great instructors, our past instructor, right, great instructor, right, the people that he brought in, great instructors, been around a lot of great instructors throughout the travels and all of that. But the one thing I've always found myself was that I was just, even on a basic technique or a position, right, I was just learning something that I figured I would have learned in the past just from a basic technique, and maybe I wasn't paying attention or whatever it was. It just didn't connect with me at the time. But your style brought me into that. You know, my game is just elevated. You know, we should have a bing, right?
Elevate counter.
We'll work on that there. Our producer, shout out to Bryson. But you know, it really does. And a lot of times I find it too, especially since we're similar size of guys with
big guys.
The stuff we have our own style of jiu-jitsu, you know.
I was like, hey, my feet don't even get down here.
But, you know, I was just finding myself, your game related a lot to, you know, what would help me, you know, and just having little nuggets, a hand position, a grip, you know, my toe needs to be here, pushing this way, you know, whatever it was just, it was just, it really drew me to, especially when Joel and I were talking about, you know, we need a third. We need to have a third person.
Mm-hmm.
And that was you, you know, I think, and a lot of that came from just your chill, you know?
Yeah, man, you're just super approachable. And, you know, like there's a lot of stories that go on the mat that if you just step back and watch, that you can see them or hear them then. And I just think seeing how you approach people and the way they approach you back was like, yeah.
But no,
That's
I am truly blessed for that, man. You guys are awesome, and thank you for the kind words with that. Thank you for including me in this journey. But man, really just nice style. I think going back to Texas, you know, the Southern hospitality side of things, just that, you know, approachability-ness of like, hey, how's it going? But yeah, and a shout out to, you know, my instructor, Master Wall, who, I mean, good Lord, man, that guy probably has forgotten more jiu-jitsu than we've seen combined. But just a super great guy, always made us feel welcome. And like when we talked about the culture where it starts at the top, you know, and that's how it was for me coming up. So when that's what you learn, it's, you know, that's how you came up, almost like that's how we were raised, right? Like, oh, you know, so it just, that's how it's been, you know, so, you know.
It's really funny you brought up, like, it just kind of clicked. You said it's how you were raised. It's almost funny. There's almost, and it doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens to a lot of people when you get that jiu-jitsu bug, right? You get the jits, you know, bit by it, right? And then it's almost like a rebirth, right? Where you have, it's all you're doing, right? You're thinking about it all the time. You're watching it on YouTube. You're at every class, you know, you're talking about it all the time. It's just, it becomes one of those, you know, it starts to become a piece of you. And there's a massive, I mean, at least I felt a massive, and I still do, but you have that imposter syndrome for a while, you know, where you're like, man, is this really for me? But I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop wanting to do it. I can't, the way it makes me feel, you know, it's definitely a drug of a sorts, you know, it has that effect.
You know, man, like, so last year was first year competing as a black belt. And when coach gave me that black, I was like, are you crazy? Anyway, you know, that I was super grateful, for the time that led up to that moment, right? It's not the belt, but whatever reason is when you put that belt on, like it doesn't have to be black. Although when it's black, it's like, I'm telling you, it's worse. But like, blue, purple, brown, you're like, you got something to, you know, like in the military, like you got to earn that every day.
Good transition. That was the next question. So might as well go there.
But yeah, so like you put that on, and you mentioned in that earlier in this chat, talking about going new places, and man, like I remember traveling as a blue or purple belt, even as a brown belt. Like, I just wasn't in, you know, like I'm just me, man. I'm just a little tan guy in the back. Nobody even notices me, right? And dude, putting that black belt on, I was like, now when you walk in, like I was in Tucson in the spring, I was hitting some gyms down there, and you just get watched. Mm-hmm. And it's really like, we're talking this whole time about like how you treat people, right? You know, there's some dudes on the mat that can scrap, and they're watching how you, that's what I felt like, you know, I'm rolling with these white belts and stuff, and just how it was awesome, man. You're meeting these other people, but like then competing, and you realize like, you know, it seems like the world is big from white to black, but man, it's not. Mm-hmm. It's pretty little. The world of black is terrifying. Yeah. Because you could get a schmuck like me that's brand new, and then that's when tape matters.
Right.
It's time on target, right?
Right, time on target.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, random thought.
No, it's true though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think in any good academy that we've ever been to, you've got people that are watching the new person in the gym, whether they're brand new beginner coming in, they just signed up, and they're looking at a future student they've got to help grow and teach them, how to act on the mats, versus somebody that comes in with some experience visiting and looking at, protecting their people from this new person, making sure that, this new person coming in. And I think that's really important. And I haven't experienced it at the black belt level, but being of larger size, that happens as well with that, out there smashing on
throw
people.
someone around, or
the mat enforcer comes and says, "You're next." Yeah. Hey, big guy, you're next, and that's when maybe
your arm off or something.
Yeah. Again.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, no, I think that's one of those things that I think any good academy should be happening, regardless of the instructor. That should be safety, and everything should be key. And not just safety, but support.
And
I
respect.
think, I'm looking at it as, I almost know people better when I roll with them than someone I've known for 10 or 20 years, because we haven't had that physical connection. I haven't felt you. I haven't experienced your spirit. You know what I mean? Whether it's leaving your body or right before you tap, or vice versa, right? You're trusting that person.
Totally. Absolutely.
And a lot of times you're teaching that person at the same time too. And there's a delicate balance there.
Slow.
Yeah. And I think that's really important in any academy, and especially for new people coming in, or people of, getting up there in their age. They're like, maybe they're killing it at CrossFit right now, and but waking up every morning with those pinches and all that comes with it. A lot of times you're looking for something that still has that elevated heart rate, maybe those target heart rates that you're looking at, but something that's not so as impactful as to someone putting a awesome technique on you. And,
it doesn't take much.
No.
If you do it right.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah. And so I think that's really important. Just having, regardless of who walks through that door, knowing that they're going to be supported, that they're going to be safe, and we're going to get to know you quickly, and push you when there's time to be pushed, or pull back, or maybe we don't even get on the mats that day. Just like you said, maybe we're just sitting on our awesome seating area that's not there right now, but will be, and we're just having a cup of coffee, and we're just chatting, you know. So I think that's something I think you'll get when you walk through this door,
For sure.
Backgrounds in military. What is that? And public service. I think that's something that we chat about. You have that service heart, you're a servant leader, servant heart, all of those things. How does that tie into, what do you bring with you that, especially as a parent? I think this is what's really important too. As a parent, our kids program, I'm losing sleep on making sure that our kids program, I know we all are, that is, something that a parent is proud and excited to tell other parents about the kids program at Elevate, because of what happens here, and making that, and those are the types of things that I think we all want to make sure that experience is very special, but growing special humans, we're going to be in charge, and others that join our team eventually, they're going to be in charge and have that responsibility. And that's something that we're going to be teaching them is, how are you growing those special humans, and what experiences, your past experiences, especially from military and public service, on the fire department,
police department, wherever you're at.
Yeah. Police department, wherever. What are you bringing with you into this place? What are some of those founding principles? I know, your grandfather served, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But just from some of our backgrounds.
What do you remember about your grandpa?
Man, he was a stand-up guy, man.
Yeah.
Just solid guy. I've loved visiting them in Nebraska, working on the farm with them. Got to visit them many summers, traveling back and forth from Texas up there. It was just a great guy. Always had time to show you something.
What branch was he in?
He was in the Air Force.
Yeah. Do you know what he
I
did?
believe he was in the Korean War.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude.
Shout out to your grandpa.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Super, super great guy.
That's awesome, man. I'd really like to just step. Is there a pass button? Nah, man. Shit. So my family, everyone in my family served way better than I did. My dad he was in the Army. Brother's a Marine. Huh? And then my grandpa, he was in the Navy. And I remember when I was a kid, you're reading these. Remember how the books when you were like, I don't even know how old I was. Probably like 7.
It was a long time ago.
I was probably 15 because I could
a really
read,
long time
so
ago.
I don't know. But like, there were like these cartoon drawings, and stuff. A little different. But there was this one called Frogman. And it just had pictures of these dudes like swimming out in the ocean and then planting charges. And I was like, man, I don't even know how to swim, but that's freaking cool. That is awesome. So I remember that book, and I was like, yeah, I think, where are those guys at? They're in the Navy, I guess. There's some others. So yeah, I joined the Navy right out of high school. And man, I found myself going down story lane, not really answering your question. I just want to say this one thing though, real quick.
I want you to say it. Yeah.
This could be a whole.
I'll back you
thing.
up. I got you.
But there was, so we all grew up different things. Like I grew up wrestling since I was like 4. That's just what like dad did. So that's what I did. And then racing bikes and, there was back then there was this time trial series out on River Road. It was called the River Road Time Trials. And then, I don't know why they changed the name to Gramps Farm Time Trials, and a time trials where it's like you against the clock, right? Everyone wears those funny helmets, like counting how many people you've shanked in prison or something by your eye, and then disc wheels and stuff. And, it's a 5-mile course straight. It's always like in the evening. So you're riding into the wind one way and flying on the way back, when you turn around. And they would accumulate points, right? And, I did pretty good that year. And, I was supposed to go to an award ceremony that night with my dad at, 2 Rivers down on Main Street. Mm-hmm. And, cause like for my age, like I didn't win the whole thing, dude, there were some studs there, but like I won my age group, Mm-hmm. And, the recruiter called. He was like, dude, Iraq's going down. When can you leave? And I was like, I'm ready now. He's like, pack your bag. You're on a plane at 5:30. I was like, shit. And like, count me in, man. So my dad, like, we didn't have cell phones, right? Mm-hmm. So like, this is so many of those details people can't appreciate.
You guys were still using the rotary phone?
Yeah. Well, no, we had a push button, man, but it was on a cord. But I just called my dad. I was like, Dad, I'm not going to make the dinner tonight, but I'll call you later and let you know what's up. And he's like, are you okay? Man, my dad just like didn't give a shit about it. Like, are you okay, right? And I was like, yeah, I got something to tell you. Love you. Bye, right? And then you're on the plane, and then you go to that shitty hotel in Denver. It's like super depressing. And I called him to tell him I had joined the Navy. And so sorry, I'll stop my story there. But I think bringing stuff out of the Navy, like the thing that's on my heart right now is like what I would like to bring in and share, not just with kids, but like with people, is like how you deal with disappointment or failure. And that it's so easy to say it's not what you do when you get down. You got to get back up, right? Dude, whoever said that needs to be punched in the face because it ain't that easy. But yeah, man, I think like I met some freaking amazing people and thought I was on my way to just living this rad life, man. Like all that stuff people pay to go do, and just being with the boys that are like fit and monsters, and you would just do whatever, you know, didn't matter. No one could touch you.
Yeah.
And when that's taken away, I don't know, man. 30 years, 35 years later, I don't know, bro. It's kind of like I guess like I want to share like what I've learned through dealing with what I perceive as like failure, and trying to help people forecast that in their own life. After connection, right? The connection has to be organic. Like if the connection isn't truly organic between you and another person, you can't really bring that up, you know?
Yeah.
You got to get it.
Yeah.
But
You got to earn that.
Yeah. And, but I think opening this building it provides that, man. And, just trying to help people, like whatever it is. I don't really talk about that.
My question to you is, do you find nuggets of those feelings 35 years ago on the mats?
Totally.
Right?
100%, man. And what's crazy is like, it's almost like I don't find the nugget. I see the shimmer. And then it's after the roll. Then you find that nugget in this other person.
Yeah.
And then you start having these conversations like this. And, yeah. And then guys like you or you, just like, they know you're having a bad day. They're just like, hey.
Yeah.
As they smash you. But yeah, man, I think not only am I the smallest guy of the three of us, but I'm the one that goes on these like weird story time things.
I love them.
But
yeah,
I think I want to bring, there's a lot of leadership and a lot of stuff that we learned. Like we had this really cool combatives program, and it's nothing what it is compared to nowadays probably. But how to train, mindset, being mission driven and purpose focused, not to sound like I'm trying to write a book or anything, because I'm not, but I think those things just get ingrained into you. And also for me, like dealing with failure, while everyone around you seems to be succeeding.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
I'm really good at hiding.
you are. Well, you think you are. You think you are. We allow you to hide at times. I would say that there are, Joel used to be my paramedic preceptor on the fire department here in town, and terrifying, absolutely terrifying, because you referenced we know you're having a hard time. We might give you a little and smash on you a little bit, but man, the mental smashes that I remember getting from you and continue to get from you in other aspects now are just the accountability. That's the other thing, going back to just tying this in with the military stuff for me and the fire department, public service stuff is the camaraderie, the accountability, and being around like-minded people. They don't have to be the same. And I'm not looking I don't want that,
No.
but just when you walk through that door and you strap up your belt or your whatever, your shorts, if it's no-gi day, you got, and you get on there, you're all of like mind, right? You're all driving down one purpose. And then the forks in the road come afterwards, right? That's what I really find special is that we have something that connects us. Jiu-jitsu's the vehicle, but I'm going to learn so much from whoever I'm with at that time in those 5 minutes and those 30 seconds or one, hopefully it's at least 2 minutes after the round, depending on comp day. Right. But, those are the types of things that I'm yearning for as a human, regardless of a, jiu-jitsu school owner, being a purple belt, whatever that looks like. I need those certain connections that I treasured in the military and on the fire department.
Right. I
cannot find that. And don't get me wrong, I find other wonderful things with my family, my community, all those different, all of that. There's that, for some reason, I cannot replicate that vision or that feeling that I had in the military or on the fire department than I do when I'm on these mats. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm drawn to it.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that, especially for a lot of people that weren't, didn't serve, they maybe served in other capacities. Maybe they're staples in their church, or, they're on certain nonprofit boards or whatever. They're incredible parents or whatever. They love their dog, right? You want to be that dog, right? Like they're that type of dog parent, whatever it is. Coming back to learning something from those individuals is what I find I absorb the best and get the most out of is when I'm on those mats,
Being, something bigger than you, right?
Correct.
Like just you being, it could be a fundamental part or even a minuscule part, but you being part of this thing that you believe in, and that's it, man.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I can't find it anywhere else, and that's why we had to open up a gym. Just had to. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see how the space that we're creating for people is going to affect them.
Right, and it is too. Like that's, I was talking to the family, and it's not like about being better or worse, or it's like creating this. We get to create this environment that we, like a black tile guy.
Yeah, right. Big ticks.
But that we feel comfortable in and want to be there. You know what I mean? And it's not like, I just want the same thing that you guys do, and having this, what's within these walls, like when you're in these walls, to be like, you can just leave whatever it is, man, that's going on out there. When you come in here, you're just like, there's a good vibe in the air, and cool music, clean, comfortable.
Yep.
And then you just get annihilated physically if you want, but if you don't, you're just there to like get that, like experience jiu-jitsu, I mean, that's the same thing, because in the end, like elevate, right? We elevate each other. And when we leave,
it's all right. We'll work on that.
Yeah. When we leave this place, we're enhancing our life, which allows us to enhance the lives of those that we mingle with out there,
Well, along those lines too, think about how better are you as an individual after jiu-jitsu class?
Oh, dude.
I'm so good. That's not even a question.
That's not it, but
we're going to add that.
Right.
Yeah.
You can go down into that and be like, man, that's, one thing I would say, like with like the 6 a.m. classes and stuff like that. Yeah. Those are some beasts of a class, not necessarily in a sense of the class, but just to get there and that determination to make those things happen. But then once that class has happened, and I have the rest of the day, I've started that day off with, victories. I've started it off with endorphins. That day just got so much better, and you might want to nap by 2:00 because you get up, but
or 11.
But I tell you, just the positive aspect. Hey, you going to work after that class, man. I guarantee you those work problems aren't nearly as bad as having Big Sean on you, trying to smother tap you and give you the mother's milk.
It's a real tap.
And both of you are like memes, man. We need some smaller people in here. Just kidding. But no,
got
I hear
it.
you,
We're
man.
coming.
And you're, dude, we're talking about you earlier, you know, just when I'm glad you're the 6 a.m. guy, man. Because, like, I can get up at 6 to go, like, or earlier, you know, 3 to be somewhere to do something at 6, you know, like, that's what pulls me up. But just with work, man, if I can sleep in till like 7, dude, that is money. That last day I was coming in and I was on the parkway and you could see the sun coming up over Palisade Point on the mesa. And then the lights are in here and it's like, dude, this is it, man. God is like here and saying this is it. And you just roll up and like the cool air, you know.
Cool air in the mornings.
Yeah, everyone's
Dude,
got a smile on their
is.
face. And then
These doors open.
yeah. It's
sun coming up.
so cool, man.
That's beautiful.
And you just like, you know, we worked those 48s and you might not have, like that guy might not have slept 2 hours in 2 days. And just knowing, man, you come in here, you just,
You get that relief. Yeah.
and then you get, you know, the different contexts of why you're here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
realize that jujitsu's serving more to other people. Like it's literally, we might be coming in here, but what you need after that 48-hour shift, that decompression can happen through jujitsu, through the people.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know, I got my workout in, but now I get to decompress by talking with this guy and conversing with this lady, you know, and just sharing those feelings you're having. Because, I mean, honestly, after, you know, people are trying to choke you out, sharing your feelings can't be that hard with them, right? I mean, that's, you know, like, hey, man, you've already tried to beat me up. What are you going to do? Like, beat me up because I shared my feelings with you? Like, no.
Now you earn the right.
You earn the right to share them feelings with them. And, you know, and that, I think that, too, it takes a special person to understand, you know, that portion of it. Like, hey, man, like, you just can't take from jujitsu. Like, I mean, you can. You could just give me all the jujitsu knowledge. I'm going to be, but what have you grown as a person, or have you grown as a jujitsu athlete? You know, and great, cool. You want to head down that jujitsu athlete era? Cool. I'm all there. I'm all for you to do it. But, you know, I want you to take more from jujitsu than just that jujitsu piece, because, you know, we always say, like, you know, I'm not going to necessarily use jujitsu out on the street all the time, but you know what I'm going to have to do is interact with people and deal with those emotions. And how do I help people outside of just the gym, right? Yeah, cool. You know some jujitsu, but, you know, can you recognize the guy having a bad day that, hey, man, bring it in.
Yeah.
Get you a hug. Come here.
100%.
You know?
I think that's the.
Dude, he's just showing it right there.
I know.
Man. Like
I know.
He's,
well, that's why
I'm just laughing. You mentioned, remember when he said there's like 3 personalities?
3 personality types
people,
in this
and
place.
it's like,
yeah.
man, I'm realizing where I am at right now.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing what you're doing, and it's pretty cool. I hope people.
I hope they do.
I mean, if I was listening to this, I probably wouldn't be putting it together.
Yeah.
So I'm just not me. I hope I would now. Right? But it's pretty cool. Yeah.
No, I think going to the mental health is such a really big word now, you know, and we can definitely go down. And again, this is going to be hopefully one of many podcasts that we do, because I think that there's some nuggets in this that we're talking about that we really need to deep dive on for those that are interested. You know, I think there are some that, you know, fast forward through the YouTube to, you know, the next question, and that's fine. But I think, especially coming from what brings us to opening up this gym and what we're the impact we're hoping to have, and we're targeting and training to have, is that service-minded people, and again, that could be opening it up to everybody, but that are dealing with other people's trauma. And again, that can be on that could be a caretaker of their grandpa, and they just need that break to come in, and whatever it is. The spectrum's huge on this, but being a place that recognizes that we're not just here for the workout or just the jujitsu, but also the emotional connection and being open and supportive to have those conversations, because you don't know what that person walking through just went through. You know, someone coming off of a 48-hour shift, slept for 2 hours, and they dealt with, 3 cores of fire, and, maybe they're having a rough day with their supervisor or something.
Never happens.
It never happens. Never happens. But, those are the types of things I think this, going back to how do you feel after a jiu-jitsu class, I have never left a class where I didn't feel great, and I mean, now great there's different levels of that, but I've always been, man, I'm really glad I went, even though I didn't want to, too tired or whatever the case is. I think that mental health aspects and us as the trainers and the people that we bring in as trainers, that we're targeting those type of people to have that emotional capacity, or at least be open to learning that is one of our biggest things that we're going to bring here, especially don't get me wrong, as the adults, of course, but in the kids program as well. I think it's very important that we're cognizant of that, and that is top of mind at all times as we develop our programming and build the culture in this gym, is, that it's not just about the technique or the, whatever, it's about elevating that human.
Yeah. And then too, like we said, just having, my one time I did a ride along, and it was an overnight, ride along, and you get off at 6 a.m. man. First responders, man, you're just forced to go home and deal with what you just went through, and maybe giving them that place here to come home, deal with, get a workout in, decompress, sit in the sauna, sweat out that toxins that, after the adrenaline and everything's worn off, your body's just needing a release, and coming here and being that for that person is, I think, great opportunity just to have people come in and share that.
It's definitely a place where it collides, right? Because people just coming in, the mom that's struggling with, like, man, I had this kid like 8 months ago. Everyone talks about the dad, but man, I got some shit going on too, man. And just like really being that point where people can go through that human connection.
What are you most excited about cracking these doors open when we get to here, hopefully in the next 30 to 45 days? What are the all of the things we text about all the time about, all the things that are going into this, but what are you excited? Justin, what are you excited about?
Man, this is the community, just bringing, like I said, people together to enjoy jiu-jitsu, enjoy each other, make this, not just the gym, but the place where you want to bring your family and hang out, whether a class is going on or not, come in, hang out with somebody, have a conversation with them, even if you can't roll that day, maybe you're injured, but hey, I still want to go to the gym. Yeah, I can't roll, but I want to see the people there.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. I'm excited about, this location, having the beautiful doors to open up and have that breeze, amphitheater right down the street, the river right down across the road there. You just have so much opportunity to create not just a jiu-jitsu gym, but a community for the people.
I love that. That's a good answer.
Dude, yeah,
you took a lot of good ones there, buddy. Good luck.
Gonna,
good luck. What are you excited about?
I would say that's it, man. It's just the community, but like the moments, right?
The moments. I love that.
I could look at, relating it to, dude, I don't know. That's it. I mean, we picked this spot, looked at a few buildings.
It doesn't look like much, but I think the vision is there.
It's here, man.
I mean, there's a reason why we're doing the podcast in our space and showing that it is a little behind, being vulnerable to that is, I think, important. That as much as you guys are chomping at the bit to get in here, like when are you going to be open? What's going on? A lot of the reach outs from social media and just friend to friend contact. And, when is this place going to crack the doors open? There's a reason why we're in here. We're manifesting this but once this last hiccup that we get past, which we should be by, this should fly, and then pretty soon I'm excited. In fact, I'm excited to talk to those individuals that want to come help build this place out.
Right.
That's what I'm excited for the people to be like, I just want to be involved. Mm-hmm. There's many of them that have just been, I just want to be around you guys. We want to be around them. They just, you get that feeling that they're missing that. And I know we all are missing our old friends, and hope to see them, in one way or another, even if it's just to come by and say hi. I mean, the door's open to everyone in town, to come by. But I think I'm looking forward to seeing some of those old faces.
Yeah, man.
And I'm really excited about the new faces that are like, well, wait a minute. Now that you're doing this, your own thing, like now I'm a little bit more inclined and more comfortable to come into those doors. Right. I think of us, we've brought people to jiu-jitsu,
right?
For
sure. Well, you brought me, man. I was thinking about that a minute ago. Is growing up as a wrestler, right? And I did some other martial arts before now, but that when you were talking about it, you and Bert and Mike, I wish he was around.
I know.
But I got Cole into it, and I signed Cole up. Specifically, I didn't sign up because I didn't want to be just kind of like, I don't know. Some of the feedback I get is that like it's like I can be overshadowing or something. I don't know. Anyway, so it's like let him have his own thing. I really wish my daughter, I wish she would have came in because that girl is like, she's talented, man.
Yeah.
She just needs to do it anyway. Sorry, kid. So, talking to you about getting him in, starting in Grand Valley, and that was just a cool thing. And thinking about what you're excited for here, that's what I was thinking about is like having the opportunity to create that moment for another parent and another kid.
Yeah,
what, dude, that's magic.
Yeah.
And that's something that if that magic is right, it's going to be this thing that just, it's not going away.
No. Mm-mm.
It's done. It's happened that moment in time, and they're on this different path.
Yeah.
And, even though my son might not be training as much as I think he probably could, it's there, it's in his heart, it's in his mind. And, that thing that's not necessarily the act of jiu-jitsu, but like the spirit of, and that is what gets you through those conversations at work or, having a hard time at home or getting off the street, whatever, that's magic. It's cool.
Well, it's just like anything that you get introduced to and it's new and a lot of people don't know about it, but you want to go out and tell everybody about it. You see that?
How he's sitting right now.
I know. You're like, I've got a secret. You've got to hear this. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I just need you to trust me.
Totally.
But nowadays, with all of the scammers out there, all the stuff, everybody's so cautious. Yeah, I'm getting duped here, but I still feel that way. I get a parent that comes up to me and that they're struggling with their kiddo. Maybe they're, whatever it is, they're just struggling with their kid at a lot of different levels at ages, that they're struggling with them. There's been so many, but I'm like, man, get him into jiu-jitsu class, get him into jiu-jitsu class.
The important thing about that payback or whatever people are looking for. A lot of times now, people are so like focused on, I want it now. I want it now. And jiu-jitsu will give you that right now. But that ain't nothing, man. It's, you got to stay in the game. That is not like you just can't, like even how we're talking, just understanding the difference, what it's like as a black belt versus a brown belt. You just gotta, it's time, man. And I mean, you could put a colored belt around you and go sign up for something, but man, that's a bad decision.
You're gonna learn quickly.
But that it's, and that's cheap. There's nothing in that, right? Like what's in that, or like Rob would always say, he didn't wash his belt because he doesn't want to wash the magic of jiu-jitsu off, right?
Right.
All the jiu-jitsu goes away.
Yeah.
That guy's so funny.
I know.
But I still don't wash my belt. like it's so, why did that stick in? I don't know. But like, it's those moments, man. It's those moments every day, the grind, everything on the mat. And those are those, like, you don't realize it at the time, but like a year later, or when you get a like keeping it jiu-jitsu specific, like you get a stripe or you get a new belt, like then you,
or coach sees you do something cool and
coach,
says something.
Dude, when coach says something, you're like, or like when somebody like,
or
like,
or the mat enforcer,
like one
or
of the,
right,
one of the guys on the mat, you know,
or
when they come up to you and you're like, yeah,
or compliments from the, when you do get to roll with the ladies and they were like, that was awesome.
Thanks.
You know?
You weren't being, you were doing jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's those moments that are really special. And you know, you could get what happens in, like, I don't know all the statistics, you probably do, but like once people get a blue belt, usually they quit or whatever. What are all this story? You know, you listen to all this stuff, right?
That is the thing.
But there's like, it's true, man. And when you stay in the game and then you get to purple, you just get this different view. Like apparently you show up late all the time, and I don't know. Anyway, sorry. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
But that magic, those moments are what you start to really see more and more, like a bigger and bigger picture of the longer you're in the game. I mean, you guys have been doing this longer than me, but that's what I've seen.
Oh yeah, no, man. I it was funny the other day. It was one of the saddest things in jiu-jitsu is the people you meet along the way, and then they don't show up. They're not there anymore, right? Not that they passed away. Right. They're just not there because they don't train anymore. But man, those 2 years that they were there earning that blue belt, they were. Oh, you're like, oh man, this is great. But then here you are, you know, and you know, I speak like that because like my friend and I, we started the same time, and then, you know, 3 weeks later he gets injured, and here I am, 19, almost 20 years later, still doing it, and you know, and so it's just one of those things you get sad, like, oh man, hey, guys, you're at that blue belt, and you know, I think too, it's when you get to a blue belt, you kind of go, okay, hey, I know a little bit of jiu-jitsu. You don't know everything, but at the same time, you don't know everything. Right. You know, you're just like, I know jiu-jitsu. And you're like, well, no, like you, and then as you have that more time on the mat, you start to realize, hey, yeah, I know it, but I'm not super knowledgeable. I don't know anything in a sense, right? You kind of go into that I know I don't know phase versus, you know, I don't know because I don't know, you know. Right. But then you start to go in like, okay, hey, I don't know what I don't know. And then you start to learn. And that's where you really grow after blue belt of going, okay, hey, you know, okay, I thought I knew jiu-jitsu. And a lot of people will get there. They'll go, oh, I know jiu-jitsu. I got my blue belt. And they're like, and then you see them depart the gym. They're like, oh, this, you know, and too, like, I mean, even like human nature, right? Like, you know, we always pick up these hobbies, and these hobbies last usually about 2 years, right? Oh, what are you doing for 2 years? And well, guess what? The blue belt is around 2 years, you know, and so now you've hit that 2 year, like, okay, well, where am I really going with this, you know, and
you in it or not?
You in it or not? And, you know, that's where you see a lot of those blue belts once again kind of
and maybe
disappear.
Well, and
maybe
I think
you go away and come back.
Well, and I think you'll find here at Elevate that there'll be some accountability options, and there'll be some ways that we have those relationship with students where we reach out and
Yeah.
find out, why they're not walking through the door. And again, we talk about jiu-jitsu, the members or the community is being our family, our second family, and I think that's something we'll get into on a little bit deeper on a different one. But, I just think that is part of what, if I have you breathing down my neck to walk through the door, I'm probably going to come through the door. You know what I mean? So I think that those are the types of things too, that I hope, regardless of everyone's family situations or what's currently happening, like there's going to be flexibility in our memberships. There's going to be, understanding. We're going to have those, we're going to know your people.
But I think too, just communicating with them, right? Reaching out. I mean, man, you could tell you like you missed 2 weeks or 3 weeks of jiu-jitsu and now you're feeling weird kind of going back, man. But if coach is like, hey man, can't wait for you to get back. Oh, now, okay, hey, they're still wanting me there. You're still feeling wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
That's so many times you can get lost and just, Joe hasn't shown up for, 2 weeks now. I guess he's not coming. But if I haven't seen you in 2 weeks, I need to reach out to you, brother.
You've been gone for 6 months and didn't even hear anything.
Yeah, no one's even said,
And I tell people, I mean, man, it's great to take a break from jiu-jitsu, but you can't quit.
Life happens too, man. And that's like injuries happen or, man, you want to go, it's ski season and it's a killer season and it's powder every day. Man, dude, I'd rather be in powder too, but at nighttime I'll be in here. Yeah. Just because it's not right or wrong, right?
But
it's
that's
just kind of
one of the perks being in the valley here is we have that opportunity to go hit powder horn in the morning and jiu-jitsu in the afternoon.
And the jiu-jitsu is really like, it's about, I mean, there's all these, I've already said it, all these cliche things, but like, it is really about a journey. Yeah. And I can't remember when we were watching all those Kurt Ostrander things and stuff. And there was this, I don't know if it was on that documentary with him, or a different one, but there was this guy. I wish I could remember his name, but he's a classic jiu-jitsu, like he's just, he looks like a crack climber that his fingers are, anyways, just
mangled ears are muffined and
he just made this statement. He was like, you know what? You're going to be somewhere in 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was from
So you might as well be a black belt.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Or longer.
Or longer. But again, in that, like and looking back on that, I mean, I saw that 10 years ago.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
There's so much other information in that statement than just being a black belt. Yeah. And that's life. And this buddy of mine that I just look up to so much because he's just like this chiseled human specimen. And I know you guys know who I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So does he. But he made this comment to me when I was going through a really hard time, man, at work, and I was just not knowing what to do. And it was just like 2 hours a week, bro. Just 2 hours a week. And you'll be surprised what you turn that into. Mm-hmm. And I ended up turning that into like 8 hours a week with him at that point, right? And his most consistent training partner. Those guys are special, man.
Yeah.
They're great dudes and they're awesome at jiu-jitsu too. But like that, just 2 hours a week. Just shoot for 2 hours a week, especially as a beginner.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yep.
And then you start finding ways, like if you stay for 15 minutes and roll for 15 minutes, now it's 2.5 hours. And then it's like, man, the kid's got this going on. I can go just hit that for another hour. Now it's 3.5 hours. Mm-hmm. And then it's going to come up too, right? Where it's like, you're not in the gym for 3 weeks. And then that mindset sets in where it's like, those dudes have been training for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. It's Worlds is in 2 weeks. I've been out for 3. I don't want to go back in there right now.
Right.
But,
yeah.
We'll just get back in there.
Yep.
Because in the moment you do that, you're like, I'm so glad.
It just resets the clock and
Yeah,
you're boom
dude,
down the
you're
road
just-
again.
yeah,
It was almost
that-
like, yeah.
Well, you just jumped in a moving vehicle, right?
Yeah.
And now, like
Yeah.
all that progress that the people have made, like you may be in the back seat,
Yeah.
or like hanging on the trunk, but like you're on the ride.
Yeah, you're on the ride.
And that's it.
And
you
that's
know, it's
exactly,
just- that's it.
I love that. You're on the ride. And you're always invited on the ride, and and the ride's going to be going. So you jump in and off, I love that.
And it's a
So
scenic
true.
view, man.
So true.
There's a lot of stuff going on off the side of the road.
That's a great way to end this bad
Yeah,
boy.
sweet.
I think we just call it right there.
Cool.
Join us for the ride.
Yeah.